2 of the rulers of the world, the controllers. How dangerous are the rulers of the world? Okay, so my mic don't work, so I hope y'all can hear me the best way possible, because if y'all can't, this is going to be a problem for me. I'm not recording on my phone, so yes, it looks different, the angle looks different, but let me jump right back in to it, because the first video that I made, which is very tiring, because the first video that I made, it had no audio to it, so I have to do this all over again. As always, like, share, subscribe, and comment and repost if you can. Okay, so I said now let's get back into the Bible. Okay, they are assigning world leaders to handle us different versions of it. I said in the beginning that the rulers of the world has made different colonies to assign with people. How many versions of the Bible are there? Globally, for the full Bible has been translated into more than 770 different languages, with smaller proportions or testaments available over in 4,000 languages. Okay, so I'm gonna break that down just right there. So 4,000 different languages for 770 different versions of the Bible. So if you would think about that, right? Because that means they have, okay, what we have, or we have 7 different translations of the Bible, and each translation of the Bible is something different. Okay, the first version of the Bible literally talks about the beginning and literally talks about what's good, what's bad. So it gives you the discernment, it gives you a sense of realization, okay? Because every human needs some type of sense of realization. They don't just do anything for anybody or any causes. Now, I haven't read all of the Bibles, and I haven't read all of the translations, and I don't read all of the verses, but I do know that they had created this, and I'm going to go back into the part that I was saying, that they created the Bible to control us and to establish authority over us, to establish power over us, okay? To establish dominance over us. Mind you, the Caucasian man, 4,000 years ago, he was with us, okay? Now, this whole continent, this whole world looked different. Every single thing that you see, every single continent that you see, and that you might say, well, all the continents are split up, all the continents under all the continents are on different parts. Every single continent was conjunct with one another, okay? And all of that was because of all the nations were not divided. They were not a separate. There was not apart. It was no division in the land. It was nothing to be done in the land that was mischief and that was bloodshed and anything else. Now, these people, Caucasian people that came over, that said God said he's going to rule for 400 years, okay? Wait, 4,400. I might be wrong. He said that he was going to rule over a nation for 400 years. And after that 400 years, then they will be free. Okay, so he created a whole nation for himself, okay? And this was a scientist named Yaqub. A scientist named Yaqub had did research among black people, had did research among doctors, lawyers, investigators, private people, open people. Every single person that you thought of back then in those days, he had did research among these people, and he said, I'm going to be a conqueror of many nations. I'm going to lead my own nation, and I'm going to break down your nation, the holy nation of Islam. Now, the holy nation of Islam, everybody was practicing it because, of course, Moses, Abraham, and everybody else had followed this into submission, and they were all following after Isaac. So they was following after Abraham, they was following after Moses, they was following after Isaac. And when he said this, he had created distinction in the land. So when he grew up, of course, he was a mischief maker, because as a kid, you never want to just fully pay attention to what's in front of you. You always want to discover and explore more. So of course we're gonna discover, explore more. So he was making mischief in the land, he was being curious about things, he was asking a whole bunch of questions, which probably irritating. Just imagine how that is, as a kid. You're not happy anywhere you go because you want to create something, or you are birthing something new. So personally, that feels a little bit different, and that feels a little bit strange, and that feels somewhat it could pull a burden on you. Okay, so once he did this, as being a grown adult, he understood what it took to get the people to be distracted, get the people to be separated, to get the people to be into submission into something else, to create distinction in the land, to create a disformity in the land. And once he did that, he felt very powerful, because first of all, what he did was he went to the doctors, and he said, okay, now we have the blackest baby. The blackest baby, we're going to kill the black babies. We're going to kill the male childs. We're going to take control of the women child. We're going to do all of these things so we can we can gather many nations. We can gather many colonies. We can gather many people. We can gather many groups. And then finally, we're going to make bloodshed in the land. So we're going to cause mischief in the land. So he was the crafting of the Caucasian men and women. Now, I'm not saying this because I don't like the Caucasian men and women. I'm not saying this because, oh, they think they're better, or we're better, or we're this, or we're that. Skin color doesn't matter to me. I can care less if you're purple, brown, pink, or blue. I'm telling you this because this is how you were made. This is how everything was created. So when you think about it, when you think about who you are, what you came from, your history, you will actually understand why some Caucasian people have a lot of anger hidden inside them. Some Caucasian people can't express their emotion. Some Caucasian people don't understand why there are other colors that's amongst the earth. They think that they should rule. They think they should be a dominant civilization. Now, this is the spirit of control. This is the spirit of, like, it's not a Leviathan spirit because it's not a spirit that's going to conquer or going to destroy everything, because a Leviathan spirit just gobbles up everything. It just eats up everything. It's just like it's a snake. It gobbles up everything. It eats up everything. But it's a spirit where it's like, I want to control. I want to have power. It's kind of a selfish, narcissistic spirit. And when you have a selfish and narcissistic spirit, like, you know, if you have a selfish narcissistic spirit with anybody, it's best to repent. And that's just a gem. I'm not going to keep, saying like, oh, it's best to repent, it's best to go pray about it, it's best to go bless some others so you could talk about it or write about it, because maybe y'all won't want to do that anyway. But I'm just saying, when you have that, you should most definitely repent, because it's a horrible feeling to have and grow inside of you for a very long time, or just for a time being at all. Okay, so I'm going to jump right back into the word, because of course I'm getting off of my message. Okay, I'm getting off my key. So the fact still remains that these people wanted to get these people into a distinction. So they wanted to get people into different colonies. They wanted to get people into different groups, into different leaderships, into different organizations, into different things. So how are we going to get the people into different things? We're going to find out what they like. We're going to find out what they like and what they don't like. We're going to find out who they are. We're going to find out what they can do. We're going to find out how to control them. We're going to find out what the sources are. Okay? And once they found out the sources, which took them some time because they needed a black leader to get them all together on one accord, just to do the things that, which is, making groups and making colonies, making lawyers, making doctors, making pediatricians, making all these different people. They needed us. He needed us. They wanted us. Okay? So if you look back, it doesn't matter how much time that you look back, because like I said, I don't know all the timeline and I don't know the statistics of it, but I do know that once he created distinction on the land, it was never the same again. Because everybody is looking like, well, who let him rule? Well, who let him in charge? Well, why is one man going upon? Why is he making many nations? What is he trying to do? Why is it this? Why do we like to be separate? Wait, hold on. So you're lying to me? So it created a distrust. It created a disloyalty with one another. So when we have disloyalty with one another, which is today, that's why many relationships is breaking up, because we can't trust one another, because we don't understand one another, because we think somebody thinks somebody is better, the other person thinks somebody is sweeter, the other person thinks somebody is nice. So we don't know who we are. You don't know who they are. So how can we trust anybody? How can we trust anybody? Like, look around you. How could you trust anybody when everybody has something different to say about something? Like, it's not even the simplest things we can argue about. Like the fact that we have different categories in math. We have different categories in reading. We have different categories in Spanish. We have different categories in, if you want to channel in Arabic, we have different literally categories for everything. And this is where a whole new civilization came from. This is where a whole new set of things came from. A whole bunch of ideas, a whole bunch of inspiration, a whole bunch of motivation came from. All of this came from him. Now, he was a scientist because he studied for various years. He studied for many years. Like I said, I don't know the statistic of how much and how long he studied, but he studied for many years. Many decades has passed and still studying. because he wants to conquer the nation of Islam, the nation that Allah has assigned to us. Okay, so you might sit here and say that I'm lying. You might sit here and say, go pull up some facts that I'm lying. Before you go and say into your little selves and say to your little partners and whatever else, prove your facts. Like I said, these people are controlling the amount of masses of people because there's different populations of people. There's different people that thinks different, people that act different, people that know things differently. Well, I know that slavery, my ancestors were worshiping this. I know, and back in the day, or this or this. So everybody they have to get into their minds that, hold on, wait a minute. If we want to control somebody, we have to get into the mental state of them thinking how we want them to think, of them acting how we want them to act, or else we would never fall, or they would never fall for our categories, or they would never fall for these traps. They will never fall for these religions, these different religions. All religions started from Islam. They will never fall for these different things because they all have different ideas. They all have different mindsets. They're all different people. They're all different in different lanes. So of course, when he decided to do all these different things, you had to follow one master. You had to follow one God. You had to follow one rule. You had to follow one people. You had to follow one civilization, or this would have never worked. When everybody is out of alignment with the devil's plan, with the Caucasian man's plan, with the rulers of this world's plan, with the elite's plans, with the president plan, with the government plan, with these different when they are all out of control, it's hard to regain access and control back until you start putting that BTA. I'll put that black leather belt on you. Now you understand. Now when I take your link card away, now when I take your jobs away, now that I take your money away, now that I take your families away, now that I take your success away, now that I take your careers away, now that I take this away, now that I take that away, now you understand. Ain't nobody playing with you. But who are you to take away anything that nobody gave to you? For you to control or for you to look after. So now you have to think about it like this. They control us. You fell into the trap. Now, are you willing now, as watching this video, are you willing to keep falling into the trap, or are you willing to change the mindset of the trap? You're willing to do something that is different, to break the generational curses, to break the cycle of your family, to break the cycle of your friends, to break the cycle of your mind, to break the cycle of being everything and everybody else. So are you willing to do so? Because some people, they would say yes. Some people, they would say, I will get to it whenever I get to it, or I do it whenever I want to do it. And you don't have time to do it whenever you want to do it. You don't have time. You don't have enough patience to even act in that manner. Because think about it. Once you fail, you're gonna be mad at yourself. You're gonna be mad at the people who told you to do so. You're gonna be mad at the people that surround you, because of course that's human emotions. So when you try to do right, you're gonna fall sometimes. You're gonna fall 1,000 times. Shoot, you're gonna fall 7 times, and you're gonna have to get right back up, and you're gonna have to start over again. You're gonna have to repeat the cycle over again. You have to break it. Okay, so now, like I said in the conclusion, the different types of colonies of people they have is different versions, different scriptures they can use spiritually to trap your senses. The first thing is to take away your ability to have power, which means program your mind to be dumb. Next, to take away your spiritual insight away, which is discernment, truth, lies, good, bad, etc. The next thing is to soulfully ability. To take away your soulful ability to love, to have trust, to have faith, okay, in one another, to have confidence in yourself, to believe, to have a self-esteem, to have morals, to have value. That is all of the desires, the dreams, and etc. Of course. Then physically kill you with drugs. So they're doing more than just drugs. Like, they've been putting poison on all the fruits and vegetables. They've been doing things since we came to America just for us to fall out, just for us to die, just for us to have a heart attack, just for us to have a stroke, just for us to panic, just for us to get attention. If you don't put no mind into this stuff, it will never work. If you put no authority over this stuff, it will never work. If you don't put your attention span onto this stuff, it will never work. If you don't understand what I'm saying, please allow me to really enlighten you. Because if you do not put your 2 foot into this satanic world, then I promise the satanic world cannot get to you. You have the ability to allow what you want in your life to happen. But that's besides the point. Like I said, that's a gem, because I be dropping down gems. I hope y'all be listening. I hope y'all writing it down, because y'all need to write it down. So now I'm gonna go back into, okay, so plan doesn't work out. Okay, so when the plan doesn't work out, the next step is to have war or rage war upon you, because you don't want to quit, or you're not willing to give up something that God gave you. Keep being stuck and keep being stagnant. You don't want to keep being stuck. You don't want to keep being stagnated until you break the bondages that are keeping you wrestling with yourself. They need power. They're like vampires. Okay, so they need power, and they're like vampires. As you know, they rape, they kill, they slaughter children from all over the world, and some popular things that is most of us that don't give a F about about the homes and the children. So when you don't give a F, when you see these kids coming up missing, you see these adults, you see these teens coming up missing, but you still let your kid go out to the party that person was missing. You still let, like, I'm not saying go not have fun. I'm not saying go not party. I'm not gonna say don't hit up, each other's beaches and picnics and all, different places around the world. I'm not saying don't travel. I'm not saying, I said be safe with it. Because when your kid's life is involved into it, when your children's life, when your adult's life, when your partner's life, when your best friend's life, you don't want nothing to happen to your best friend. You don't want nothing to happen to your partner. You don't want nothing to happen to your babies. So you need to keep an eye on them for doing different things with different people. They have a friend group, like I said in my TikTok videos, because I know nobody watches my TikTok videos no more. But like I said in my TikTok videos, I said that you need to watch out for your children, because you need to be looking out on their phones. You need to be looking out on social media. You need to be looking out on their contacts, because they can have friends. They can do whatever they want to do. They can say whatever they want to say, but you need to make sure that they're guided right, and make sure that they know the right things to do. What is good, what is bad. Have some type of discernment, have some type of skills and knowledge for themselves, because you can't just send people off into this world that is messed up. That's why we have all these people, these different people that tells the same story on the street. They tell the same exact faces, but we have different skin colors on the street, because they have no parents, they didn't have no love, they didn't have no support, they didn't have no trust. Who did this come from? But I'm saying you could change this today. You don't have to blame the white person. I'm not the person that's going to black supremacy, black owned power, but I'm not against it. I'm not against it. Because when you think about how much white people have, and they always have it, you might look at yourself and you might think that you're poor. You might think that you're in poverty. You might think that you're in lack. You might think that you're broke, busted, and disgusted. And sometimes it feels like that, but it's not like that. That's not the case. That's not the scenario. So when I tell you this, I'm telling you this because I know the experience, because I saw the people, because I heard the stories, because I already been in that level. So why don't you pay attention? Another thing, so of course, being hostile, being aggressive, you don't think that you should be away from these police. You don't think that you should be away from this court system. You don't think that you should be away from this justice system. You don't think that you should go and leave towards something that's benefiting yourself, benefiting your partner, your children, your employees, your staff, your black brother and sister. You don't think that you're supposed to do something for yourself, but you steadily talking about a corrupt system. What is the corrupt system doing for you? They love when you talk about them, because that's more money that they make. Every single time you talk about them. Okay, let's talk about him. He makes more money off of that. Let's talk about JFK. He makes more money off that. Let's talk about Elon Musk. He makes more money off that. Let's talk about the Epstein files. He makes more money every single time you say their name. Every single time you say, oh, and what about him? And what about them? And what about her? They're making money off of your consciousness. They're making money off your attention. And you don't even know it. So like I said, so this is just a gem, because like I said, the controllers of the world, and like I said, I'm going to put it into different parts. I'm going to put it into different sections, into different notes, so y'all can actually understand what I'm trying to say. But if you don't understand what I'm trying to say, and it's been 20 minutes of the video, I don't understand what to tell you. Because everything is being controlled and being analyzed and being monitored right now. And the only thing that you could possibly do is get yourself out of the picture frame. Get yourself out of the involvement. Get yourself out of the wickedness of the world. That's the only thing you have to do, is get yourself, remove yourself from it. Because it's going to collapse. It's going to do the damage. It's going to do the falling by itself. Okay, so they knew power that vampires, that would rape, kill, and children all over the world, and the population of us don't get put in safety in our homes and children and our child enemies. So let's protect at all costs. You have a future to look forward towards. The reason why you're stuck and not any generational curses are because you're not comfortable, nor are you, or no, you're not happy. You have been doing everything the devil will. See? Yes, you have been doing everything the devil wants you to do. You have been talking the way that he wants to talk to you. You have been saying the things that he wants. The actions that you do. That if you want to break the pattern, you have to be the person that breaks the freaking pattern. Every man in the mirror has to change. He has to evolve. He has to do something for himself. He has to do something that is going to impact his life. You don't need no motivation. You don't need no inspiration feeds or inspiration accounts or people that you need to look up to and say, oh, I want to be better than them, or I want to be better than. You should just look up into yourself and you should say, I don't want to be like this forever. I don't want to die like this. I don't want my other future children and next generation looking at me like I was just a sad, low down piece of nothing. I want to actually do something. And that should make you change just in that faction. Like I said in the previous video, I was talking about how how both the Abrahams led into two different categories of people. Excuse me, because I be like, sometimes I be stuttering and stuff like that. But they led into two different categories of people. See, just like what Yakub did. So when Yakub changed the earth, and when Yakub changed all the different people that's on earth, and of course, it took more than just one person. It took a whole bunch of people. It took a set of people. It took a nation of people. It took a category of people. But when he changed it, it changed the dynamics of the earth. Like I said, the earth was bunched up together. The continents was bunched up together. It was conjunct. Okay, conjunct. I'm tired because I've been talking for a very long time. But conjunct, whatever. And they were connected to one another. So we had Africa, we had Asia, we had Europe, we had Australia, we had all these different places. We had them all connected to one another, and they were not, they were not shifting at all. So yeah, we had the mountains fall or whatever, maybe like the hill and the sides of the crest falls or whatever, but it wasn't no big massive explosion. But when the massive explosion did happen, that's when the earth started to shed away. The continent starts to break apart. The city starts to break apart. The people start to have no trust in one another. The people start to have no loyalty with one another. The people start to have no love for one another. So, of course, everything is just changing. It's just changing. And it's abruptly changing. Now, when we go all the way in time, because that was some time ago, so we go all the way back in time, right? Back into something that was less than 200 years ago, right? We go all the way back in time to when Abraham came, right? Now, when Abraham came, right? Abraham Lincoln, the president. Yeah, Abraham Lincoln. I'm not talking about Abraham, but I'm talking about Abraham Lincoln. He came to be the president. Now, he was going to carry out this Constitution. How he's going to carry out the Constitution, like I said in the previous section when I first started talking, I said that they needed one ruler. They needed one God. They needed one source. They needed one provider, one protector, one shield, so everybody can have the same mind, so everything could go smoothly and nothing could go abruptly. Nothing could just go ending, crashing out of nowhere. So, of course, the other presidents, Abraham Lincoln, of course, JFK, of course, Kennedy, of course, Barack Obama, of course, Michelle, of course, all the first ladies, of course, the people in the industry, even like the entertainment industry and the music industry, which is Marilyn Monroe, which is all these different people, they all wanted, guess what? They wanted the same thing. They wanted to have a unity. They wanted to have some type of a way for it. So they said that this America would stand for justification. It would stand for freedom, justice, and equality. That's, of course, that's the Pledge of Allegiance. They made the song of the Pledge of Allegiance that was originally sung by a black woman, and they had all these different functions and all these different sections so they can know that slavery slavery is over with, okay? Or slavery is not as bad as it seems, or not as bad as people, think about it or look at it as. Whatever your perspective of it as. They want you to think about it like slavery is actually something that you want to do. Make it look trending. Make it look like a trendsetter. So the first trendsetters we had was the presidents of the United States. That's the first trendsetters we had. Then we come to all these different people from around the world. They said, okay, let me sign the position. Let me do this. We're going to party. We're going to have our little mask. We're going to have our little beret. We're going to have our little, we're going to have this. We're going to have that. Boom, 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 bomb, right? So they did this. Now, while they doing all of this, while they having they're killing your children, cutting off their heads, playing with them as basketballs, blowing up many nations from across the world. Okay, so they're doing things not to get your attention, but to say this was all a setup and you fell for the trap. So like I said in the beginning, this was all a setup, this was all a trap. And I'm going to put down more information about the Bible, okay? Because I know y'all thinking like, girl, you don't even read the Bible for real, so how do you know what it states? And how do you know where it's from? And how you know? Because I'm going, like I said, I'm going to give you some details. But when I give you these details, don't be coming for me in my comments. Don't be coming for me in my videos. Don't be coming for me in my emails talking about some, you lying and you saying this and you saying that. Because it's the truth of what I'm telling you. Because if you don't understand, you should pay attention and just wait till the video is stopped for you to explain your explanation. Because I don't really want to hear it anyway. But I do want to get you to understand that it wasn't a white man's religion to create Christianity. It wasn't a white man's religion to do this. It was Jesus' idea. Like I said in the last video, it was Jesus' idea to create Christianity. But Jesus came and he wanted to give the people a new way of thinking, a new way of doing, a new way of being, because they were all lost. They were mentally dead. Okay, so what are we today? What are we today? Come on, say it. Mentally, spiritually, emotionally dead. We can't figure out anything without our emotions. We can't figure anything out without drugs, without music, without something. I'm talking about all of us. That's why I say we. We can't figure out nothing without some type of substance, without some type of source, without going to somebody, without telling somebody all of our freaking business. We can't figure out anything for the God in us. We don't even know that it's a God that lives inside of us. There's a Holy Spirit that dwells inside of us. We don't even know that because we can't get past stage 1. Now, some people have leveled up. Some people, they on stage 4. They on stage 5. They on stage 6. They going up but some of us that are dead, that don't even know that all of this is going on because of you. Oh, this is all because of you. This is your attention span. This is your energy. This is your money. This is your land. This is your world. This is your planet. All these different things God has created for the people, for his children, for his teens, for his adults, for his men, for his women, for his children. And all of you are just distracted, and nobody is trying to take back what's yours. Nobody is trying to take back what was already given towards you. This earth was given for you. This earth was everything, that every single planet we have 7 different planets, and you're telling me that everybody is stuck on one different planet trying to figure out how we're going to get to the next thing, how we're going to get to the next subject. We're on different subjects now. Like, okay, maybe I'm just, but when I tell you, it makes no sense how we let one nation conquer many different nations, conquer many different assignments. We let one man, and I'm not talking about Yaku, I'm not talking about Donald Trump, I'm not talking about JFK, I'm not talking about Abraham Lincoln, I'm not talking about the president, I'm not talking about none of these people in the government, I'm not talking about none of these people in the agencies and the secret societies and the high elite staff. You let Iblis take all of these different assignments, all of these different places, and make it into nothing, to dust. This wasn't Yaqub's idea. This was Iblis' idea. This was Satan's idea. This was what the devil's idea. This was the swan's idea. This is what the pig idea was. That's what his idea was. And you let him take over every single individual that there is. So you should feel some type of way. You should feel some type of way. Because it's not just one person he conquered. He conquered the world. So Islam means to bring peace, okay? So stop talking about Islam, because we bomb people, we throw things at people. The people that's in Arabia, the people that's in Mecca, the people that's in Saudi Arabia, the people that's in the Holy Land, that they do things on their own term. They do things on their own decision. No man shared the same burden. So if that's their choice, if that's what they want to do, if they want to bomb people, if they want to smack people, if they want to do things, Christians do the same thing. Okay, there's Christians that do the same thing. There's Jewish people that do the same thing. There's atheist people that do the same thing. There's spiritual people that do the same thing. There's Orthodox people that do the same thing. There's Jerusalem people that do the same thing. There's people all over around the world that's killing one another. Don't just say, oh, this is the nasty Islamic culture that y'all believe in. That's very disrespectful. If you don't know nothing about a religion or nothing about a language or nothing about, you should ask first, and then you could consume with your facts or ideas or ideologies that y'all place in y'all head. Islam means to bring complete peace in one's life. Put that down on your notes. And God said in the Quran, I have chosen thee and hold on. It says in Isaiah, okay, I'm sorry, I don't know if it was, because I don't have the correct citations I was supposed to have, but I'm gonna get to it. And it says in Isaiah 48 verse 10, it says, I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction. I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction. When Moses was going through things, when Abraham was going through things, and he was in the burning midst of Satan, of the people that wanted to kill him because of what he knew, because of the people that they felt like they were better than him, they felt like they knew more, they felt like they experienced more, they felt like they was on top of the world, they was superior, because of the pride and egoistic, narcissistic, selfish ways of what the enemy shows you. So when you feel like, that's why I said repent, that's why I said in the beginning, I tell you all my gems in the beginning, so you won't have to get to 50 minutes into the video and then realize you don't understand nothing I'm saying. I tell you all the gems in the beginning. Every single person on this earth, you could do it. You could step in the furnace. You could step in the blazing fire. You could step in the heat. Physically, you could step in heat because you know you've been enduring that for some time anyway. But I'm saying you could step in the spiritual heat. You could step in the soulful heat. You could step in the other heats, because guess what? When you have the armor of God, when you have the knowledge of God, when you put on your full shield of protection, when you put on your full shield of garments, then you will understand that you'll be ready for any battle. Doesn't matter what battle. It could be one person, it could be 20 billion people, it could be the whole world of society, but you would be grateful that it wouldn't be the whole world of society. But you would be better off in a furnace than being with people that don't want no good for you, people that want to see you in the burning fire, people that want to see you, but you walking amongst these people. And this is what Jesus would do: flip the table over. And that's what y'all saying, the same thing that y'all been saying in y'all heads. Y'all been applying these different scriptures and these different verses and these different stories into y'all life as nonsense. Oh, I'm finna drink wine because Jesus turned water into wine. No, Jesus didn't turn water into wine for your satisfaction of the amusements, so we can all be drinking and we can all be happy. He turned water into wine because he can show you that anything is possible with the Creator, with the man-made Creator, not the, I don't know who the heck y'all worship, but whoever y'all worship, he's in charge of not just the man. He's in charge of not just the cows, not just the animals. He's in charge of the universe itself. Every single cellular cell that you have inside of you was created by a man. And his name is Allah God. You can either get to the program or leave the program behind. But the program still stays remaining. or without your beliefs. So when I tell you, you're only harming yourself if you say into other different religions. And I have to say it like this because I don't think some people will catch on, some people won't catch on. So you can step into this burning flames. You can step into this burning fire. You know why you can step into the burning fire? Because God has ordained you to not get burnt, to not get touched, to not get scratched, to not feel a thing in the burning fire. Okay? And that's what God has commanded for us. So when you think about all the hard times in your life, you think about all the crazy times in your life, you think about all the times that you should have been dead, all the times that you should have been in the grave right now, you think about all the times that you should have done this, you should have done this, you could have, would have been of something in that nature, right? But that was God protecting you. So you should be grateful for that. And that's a side job, being grateful. And that's what it depletes arrogance, it depletes pride, it depletes narcissistic behavior, it depletes selfishness behavior when you be grateful. Now, like I said, I'm not gonna keep going to this because I gotta take this down and I gotta make it into different groups and different categories and different sections. And once I make it into different categories and different sections, I will tell y'all more about this and more about what I'm talking about. But I'm not gonna look at no notes right now. I'm finna say what I'm gonna speak about, and what I'm gonna speak about is what I'm gonna say. When you come into a religion, it doesn't matter what religion that you are in. It doesn't matter if you're Jewish. It doesn't matter what religion you come into. You know many different religions, and y'all know about them. You have to understand that life is not going to get easy for you. Life is not going to be a piece of cake. It's not going to be just some chocolate juice. It's not going to be that. And the reason why it's not going to be that is because life was never meant to be easy. It was meant to challenge you, and that's how you grow. I need a rubber band. But it was meant to challenge you. And that's how you grow. And that's how you be prepared for the things that is going to come in every different season. So God prepares you. So you might say that, well, this is very hard. Well, this is, I can do this. Well, yes, you can. Because that's why he made the challenge. So you can step into the furnace. You can step into the blazing fire. You can step into the action, the assignment he called you to do. And you could do it and say, this was my purpose. I was created for this. But y'all are, you see, it's so much of the emotion is taking over y'all. Y'all scared of this, y'all scared of that, y'all scared to communicate, y'all scared to trust one another. You have to be fearless. Like, where's the fearless people on this planet Earth? Where's the fearless people at? Where's the fearless men? See, y'all only get fearless when it comes to Satan talking in your head because you think that he's big. You think that he's bold. You think that he got characteristics. He don't have no characteristics. He has no demeanor. And most definitely, he does not care about you. So while you sitting here and listen to these men, while you sitting here and listen to these people, to these governments, to this society, he doesn't care about you. That man, he could care less if you live or die. He can care less. If you dead, on to the next. That's literally his whole agenda, his whole mission. On to the next, on to the next, on to the next. He don't care about you. He don't have no feelings. That man, his heart is stone. What can he feel? He can't feel anything. You have to understand that Christianity is not a joke. It's not made by a white man. It was made by Jesus. But he was supposed to carry out the assignments. Not in this generation, in the next generation. He was supposed to carry out the assignment so it could be enough for all humanity to get under one understanding of Christianity. To have an understanding of what does religion mean. Okay? So what does religion mean? It's a lifestyle. It's supposed to help you in your way of navigating what life is about, way of navigating of what life is supposed to mean to you. Okay? So you could say many different things about your life, but the reason why y'all having so many problems is because y'all didn't, you're not in tune with God. You're not in contact with God. See, God doesn't hide behind religion. That's not the only place you can find him. But he preferred this for your life so it could be beneficial for your life. You can go into many different places into your life when you start to obey and you start to actually do the things that he calls you to do. So you gotta just step into the assignment, like I said. You gotta be fearless and just step into the assignment, like I said. But Christianity was specifically designed for all the humans on this earth to be more like rational in thinking, to be more rational in what they do, because it is a lifestyle, like I said already. Okay, so now the reason why we have different religions, and the reason why we have different sets, and the reason why we have different nations and different places and different countries and different continents is because we don't have love with one another. There's no real communication, there's no real, training, there's no real process. There's just people that want things, people that's greedy, people that's needy, people that's just so-called just fed up with life. That is why nothing ever works for us. Nothing. And honestly, the city is like, or I should say America is like Gomorrah. And every single thing and every single aspect of what we do, we always sin, never repent. We always do something that is dealing with dark or voodoo magic, something that's dealing with the blackness of reality instead of the light of reality. We never take responsibility for what we need to take responsibility for, and it's just drastically going downhill. Keep going downhill until a rabbit hole. And what he's finna do is just end it all. And this time, ain't nobody finna plead your case. This time, ain't nobody going to be there to say, I'm going to help the people. I'm going to give them a second chance. I'm going to give them mercy. I'm going to spare their lives. I'm going to give them forgiveness. I'm going to this. I'm going to that. Because time's up. Like I already said in that video, time's up. So, you know how the story ends, and you also know how it begins. You just don't know what part of the story you're at. Well, good luck. You're at the ending of the story. So, I want to tell you that the only thing that you can do in the end of the story is give the credits their due. Give the credits their reward. Go ahead and wrap that up for me. Because you're at the ending of the situation. You're at the ending of a world. You're at the ending of a season. You're at the ending of a people and civilization. They had many times to repent. They had many times to do what's good, do what's right, free their people, do what's called for them to do. They had many times to do it. They know what their ending is. They know what their beginning is. And you're getting very close towards the end. You're getting drastically close towards it all crashing down as I speak, if it's not already crashing down as I speak. So you're getting towards the ending credits. So give your rewards up, give your applauses up, give your roses and flowers and a whole bunch of chocolate milks and chocolate things, because you're getting towards that point. Now I'm going to end the video like saying this: Christianity and the religion has not been fulfilled yet. No, it has not. Because every single thing has to come to pass. And every single thing has to come into a visual fruition. I'm not talking about spiritual. I'm not talking about morally. I'm not talking about mentally. I'm talking about a visual fruition. You have to see everything that God is talking about. You have to see everything. You have to feel it too. So, in order for people to wake up, in order for the deaf and the blind to wake up, and I'm going to explain why I call y'all deaf and I call y'all blind. Because you can't see. And I'm not talking about like physically see, okay? Because I'm not, I'm not a person that make fun of anybody. I'm not talking about physically see. I'm talking about spiritually see. You can't see because the devil has blinded your eyes. I can't see my future. I don't know what's gonna happen after this. I struggle. I worry. I have anxiety. I have grief. I have this. I have depression. I'm in loss. I'm in this. I'm in that. Can't see. You're not using your own eyes. Now this is where the faith, walk by faith and not by sight, comes in. But we passed that line because guess what? You just want to walk. So now you're gonna walk into something. Boom. Bump your head into something. Okay, cool. Now your head is hurting. Can't think anything anymore because you're not using your brain. You're using somebody else's brain to give you knowledge, to give you insight, to give you discernment, to give you wisdom, to give you knowledge. And the person that you're looking up to, because you can't see, the person that you're looking up to is blind himself also. So when you come to think of it, then you have to think about your other senses. Your other senses is you hear. What do you hear? You hear gossip, you hear nonsense, you hear chaos. So the ears is closed. Oops. Now, let's talk about another sense. What do you smell? You smell the foul spirits of everybody all coming towards you at once, because everybody else is dead just like you. So now, what else do you have? Because that's the last sense, is the mouth. Oh, the lies sheds lies. It's very deceptive. So, line, duff, and done. As always, I'm going to come back with you, and I'm going to tell you more about Christianity, give you factual information, and tell you more about yourselves. And as always, I said good morning, good evening, and good night. I'll catch y'all later. See ya.